All right, taking a quick look at M1.29 ratios. There are 28 blue pencils, 42 yellow pencils, and 12 red pencils. What is the ratio of yellow pencils to blue pencils? Select all of the correct answers. So there are 4 to pick from here, and use a table of equivalent ratios. So here is my table. I've got yellow and blue, and yellow is 42, blue is 28. First thing I notice when I look at the 42 and 28 is they are both divisible by 7. So I will divide by 7 and have 6 to 4. And the next thing that I notice is 6 and 4 are both divisible by 2. So I will divide both of them by 2 and have 3 to 2. So I have a ratio of 3 to 2. So this one right here is an answer. It is equivalent. 28 to 42, I'm going to eliminate that one because that ratio is in the wrong order. That's the ratio of blue to yellow instead of yellow to blue. 15 and 10, if I've got the yellow at 3 and I multiply times 5, that'll give me 15, and 2 times 5 is 10, so 15 to 10 is a correct answer. And if I have 3 times 7, that is 21, and 2 times 7 is 14. So there are 3 correct answers. And I have my lovely table of equivalent ratios. Looking at number 2. For every 3 doors, there are 5 windows. If there are 35 windows, how many doors are there? And I am supposed to use, got a typo there. Going to use a table to find the solution. So we've got doors and windows. For 3 doors, there are 5 windows. And I'm going to count up to 35 windows. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. And I will count up by 3s with the doors. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21. If there are 35 windows, there are 21 doors. Looking at number 3. There are 3 peach trees for every 9 apple trees. Complete the table of equivalent ratios for the given situation. Write 2 equations showing the relationship between peach trees and apple trees. So I've got 3 peach trees, 9 apple trees, and I notice that both of these are multiples of 3. So I will divide them both by 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1, and 9 divided by 3 is 3. Now I can use that information to complete the table. So 1 times 10, and 3 times 10, 30. 3 times 4 is 12. And 1 times 4 is 4. And 1 times 2, and 3 times 2 is 6. For the equations, I have the ratio of peach trees to apple trees. and the ratio of peach trees to apple trees is 1 to 3. And if I write that as a fraction, as a ratio value, the peach trees are 1/3 of the apple trees. And I can look over at my table and see that 1 is 1/3 of 3. I can do the same with apples to peaches, 3 to 1, a value of 3/1, or 3. The apple trees are 3 times the peach trees. And I can come to the table and check that. I have the peach tree, I multiply it times 3, and that is the apple trees. So the apple trees are 3 times the peach trees. A runner completes a 2-mile run in 12 minutes. How many hours does it take them to run 2 miles? Solve using a conversion rate. So I'm turning minutes into hours. So this miles and 2 miles and everything is kind of just a distracting piece of information that I kind of don't need, because I've got 2 miles here and 2 miles here. That's not changing, that stays the same. What's going to change is the minutes into hours. So I'm starting with minutes, and I want to end with hours. I have my conversion rate, and if I want to end with hours, that goes there, and minutes goes underneath. So I'm taking this conversion rate, 60 to 1, and I'm turning it into a fraction. However, I've got the wrong fraction here because I'm using the ratio of hours to minutes. So I really need the ratio of 1/60th. So I've got my 12 minutes times my hours to minutes will be equal to the number of hours. So I've got 12 times 1 is 12/60ths, or 12 divided by 60, and I can get out my calculator and do 12 divided by 60, and I get an answer of 2/10 of an hour. It is possible that you looked at the fraction 12/60ths and also saw it as the fraction 1/5 of an hour. So it will take them 1/5 of an hour to run 2 miles. A 22-ounce box of Captain Crunch costs $6.16. A 14-ounce box costs $4.48. What is the unit price for each box of cereal? When I see unit price, I instantly think of dollars per unit, and in this case we're using ounces. So dollars per ounce, which means I've got 2 different rates I'm finding here. I have $6.16 per 22 ounces, and I have $4.48 per 14 ounces. To make a unit price comparison, I need each of these to have 1 ounce. So this one I'll divide by 14, and this one I'll divide by 22. And I say divide by 22, divide by 14, it's really a fraction equal to 1. And I can get out my calculator, $6.16 divided by 22, and I find a unit price of 28 cents, or 28 cents per ounce. And I have $4.48 divided by 14, and that is 32, or 32 cents per ounce. Which box of cereal has the lower unit price, and by how much? The 22-ounce box has a lower unit price it costs 32 minus 28, 32 cents minus 28 cents. It costs 4 cents less per ounce. So I've got the unit price for each of the cereals, and I have an explanation of which one has the lower unit price and by how much is it lower. And that concludes this walkthrough.